People. I am so tired and done with this team, man. I'm not going to look a state. That's right. I'm getting ready in front of you because this team's getting ready in front of you. What are they? What are they really doing? Because you can say we played better than we played against Aston Villa, but we didn't win. Let's just keep it real. We didn't win the game. So who really cares? Who really cares like that? I don't care. We've got DT running his mouth. We've got Frank Lampard coming out after the game and saying, did you get a response out of the players? And he's saying yes. Oh, because I'm not going to have no dry skin watching this. I need to wake up. This is wild. We are in the trenches. I mean, let's just go from the starting 11 because I'm going to have some guests joining me, hopefully. I'm only going to run for half an hour because, to be honest, when we lose and when we're in bad form like this, it really does hurt me. You know what I mean? I'm not one of these guys that can come on here and go, hey guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It's not going to run. It's not going to run. So I'm really right at the bottom here, and I've got to do this, and then for half an hour, and then I'm going to pop over to the Byline, and then I'm going to go onto Turkish's stream and get absolutely eaten alive there. So let's just get into it. Obviously, the captain's repping us in the background. The starting 11, man. Let's just get your thoughts in the chat. What you thought of the starting 11? Because for me, I was a bit confused. I can't lie to you. I mean, I was happy with. I was very happy with the fact that we went with a front three of two wingers out wide and Giroud. You know what I mean? That's the bare minimum you're asking for now. Players playing in their position. I thought Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi. Pulisic's finishing in the final third wasn't up to scratch, but he's not a striker, so he brings other things to the table. So, it's an improvement from Timo Werner. Hudson-Odoi was brilliant. I thought really the whole game, I thought he looked lively, exciting, brought something to the team. And again, this is a player that's been not given much time from maybe even the fans, definitely from Frank Lampard himself. Every time Hudson-Odoi had a mare, he was taken out of the team. He one little loose touch and suddenly he's not a player for us in the squad. Do you know what I mean? It was so easy for people to drop Hudson-Odoi out of their team. He's not ready, he's young, but he was never nurtured, never really given consistent game time. But when it came down to more experienced forwards, they got a lot more time to prove themselves. And I thought Hudson-Odoi was really good today. So for me, he's just proven that whatever our next game may be, because Man City have a disease outbreak in their side, so we don't know if they're going to be able to play the game against us. Hudson-Odoi has to start next game on merit. And if he doesn't, then like I said, this is all politics now, and it's got nothing to do with playing on merit, because Hudson-Odoi was showing signs of creating things today. Great switches of play, set up really good opportunities, and unlucky not to have an assist to his name or something. How many more losses before we cut our losses from Test Merchant? I really appreciate the super chat, man. You super chat really every stream. Much love for that. And that is such a good question, man. And you know what? That is almost a title for a video. That's how good the line is. It's really, it's powerful. Do you know what I mean? And I personally, I'm not saying I'm running out of patience, man, but I really need to see stuff. I need to see better, man. I'm really struggling at the moment. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, the team, the starting 11, you play Jorginho and Christensen. Christensen I actually had more of issue with. I just thought, again, it doesn't really make any sense. I mean, we speak about Tomori so often. He's never really in the side. He's never really a player that even makes the squad most of the time. He's definitely fifth choice. But for me, in my own logic, from a fitness standpoint, I was really confused as to how Kante and Pulisic actually started. I mean, thank God they didn't leave the pitch with injuries, but these are two players that have struggled with injuries over the years. I was disappointed not to see Kai Havertz. I was disappointed not to see Gilmore. But it is what it is, man. Again, even still, that first half really took us a long time to get going. If we're talking about a team that has to respond after a very embarrassing defeat to Arsenal, they didn't really respond. Aston Villa played very well. I thought Grealish he's looking like a quality top player. And I thought, it took us a long time to get into the flow of things midway through the first half before we even started to look like a team. And then the goal we scored was really good, well worked. I thought it was a good goal. I know it's still crossing Insular, but at least there was some sort of build-up play going on beforehand. Dami's here to join me as well. Let me add him into the stream. My guy Dami, what are you saying, my bro? I was just talking about the goal that we scored. I thought it was well worked, but really at the moment I'm clutching on positives. I Test Merchants come with a super chat here saying how many more losses until we cut our losses. And to be honest, for me, if we start to drift away from the top four if we can't get to top four realistically, then at that point, then something's gonna have to be done.
Brother, honestly, I am in tatters. Genuinely, I'm in tatters. Now you've got Crazy Titch talking about our goalkeeping situation. It basically sums up the entire thing at the moment. Can you see that? We're talking about Mendy now. Do you know what I mean? Mendy's now at fault. Like, I'm not even gonna entertain that. Sorry, man. Because honestly, right now,
this for me, just to interject already, because this is ridiculous. Yeah, he's saying be consistent. For me, Kepa is not going to improve the team. Okay, I know. Well, I speak about players on merit all the time, 100%. I bring back Caballero before I bring back Kepa. Kepa for me is third choice. Kepa is what I've said before is a current liability. Okay, he is a depreciating asset. So don't say to me, "Oh, let's just bring back Kepa." Like that's going to improve the team from cross collection, from set pieces. Is that going to improve with him coming back into the team? Let's not just start chopping down everything. We don't need to replace the whole starting 11, the whole defense. We conceded one goal, and if we want to talk about that goal we conceded, Dami, for me, the fan base tried their best. Some people tried their best to bring Jorginho into it, but the fact of the matter is Christensen went down, and at that point, someone needs to cover the centre back. And Kante, he may not have been playing DM today, but he's the one with the defensive instincts. Okay, he is the better player than Jorginho, and he was closest to El Ghazi, and he didn't track him. He just let him go. If you watch the replay and the commentators say the same thing, El Ghazi's running. He's running off the left-hand side. He's at the back post. Kante is closest to him. This is the mobility and awareness guy that we need to get back into position and make that interception before it gets to him. And he's a free man and he gets the goal. So for me, he's the main man at fault for that goal.
But I'm just coming in now, yeah? A quick question.
Yeah.
Do you think the goal should have been even allowed because a player was down?
The player was down, 100%. Yeah. But you know me, and I don't like to make excuses. So for me, I can still see that we could have stopped that goal. From the moment that goal happened, we could have still stopped it. And like I said, the guy was free at the back post and Kante was closest to him. And I know Kante, you know, we this fan base has a big issue when it comes to talking about Kante, because if you really speak about him in any sort of criticism way in a moment, you really get dragged. And people will say, well, he's playing in a position where he's got to go forward. He's a box-to-box midfielder in that position. He's got to cover for Jorginho. Let me just say off the bat, Jorginho for me wasn't good. And I didn't want to start Jorginho. Again, I wanted Billy Gilmour to start in that position. I feel like Jorginho, you know, versus Billy Gilmour. If Billy Gilmour's fully fit, I feel like Billy Gilmour's got, you know, he's got less experience, but he's got more variety to offer in his game. You know, he's got the passing, but he's also more mobile. So there's reasons why I would have preferred Gilmour. But in that phase of play, that goal, Kante has to take most of the blame. For me, some people have pulled up Azpilicueta as well. I don't know. But for me, Kante should have got back into position. He saw the runner. He just didn't track him.
Yeah, but he was down. Like, normally, as a neutral, maybe it's a bit different for the Chelsea fans here. I thought, personally, the game should have kind of stopped. And there was plenty of time in the build-up to the goal.
It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. This Chelsea team lack all sorts of blood clot fight. Honest to God, all the players, they lack the fight. I don't understand why this keeps on happening. It leaves everybody in pain and confusion. It is emotional mistreatment. That is what is going on right now. Honest to God, I'm literally disappointed. Like, honestly, after you must see, because I said this on my video, I had to record a video again today. This YouTube was meant to launch a week later, but I'm having to talk, so I'm waffling down the camera for 10 to 15 minutes. It doesn't make any sense, fam. Everybody is telling me, oh, but then I saw all sorts of stupid. Listen, there are no excuses to be made. And in Chelsea, listen, even if Arsenal were in prime form, if Chelsea loses to Arsenal, your next game is a blood clot W. I don't give a damn. I don't care. You're supposed to be, after you lose to Arsenal Football Club, you turn up in your next game.
Okay,
We went against Aston Villa. I have people telling me that the reason why we didn't play out today was because we just played 48 hours ago. Have you lost the plot that far?
For a team
Aston Villa just played 48 hours ago as well. So what are you telling me about? There are so many excuses.
For a team that was meant to be based on like passion and running and graft and fight for the cause, fight for the badge, passion, love. Not really showing too much of it. I
thought you were pretty good in the first half. My only major concern was when you had the ball in the final third. Like Aston Villa weren't really getting many opportunities in the first half. You lot just weren't really doing anything in the final third.
That's the story. That's the story of really how we've been playing recently. Is a lot of crossing, isn't it? Thankfully, the goal came from a cross. Was actually well worked. Super chat from Hussein. Ollie over Lance. I hate to say it, but it's fact. I'm not gonna lie. When your home is untidy, you do not comment on your neighbour's house. But what I will say is I don't rate Ollie, so I'm not gonna big up Ollie. I'm not gonna big up Ollie because I don't rate him. So
can I just say quickly that Aston Villa as much as we were about to get onto Chelsea, of course, Aston Villa are in form, like genuine form. Until this game, Martinez didn't concede in 7 hours of football.
Don't care.
El Ghazi is 5 in 5. Like,
don't care.
Grealish is.
Timo Werner and Kai Havertz literally last season were some of the best players on the planet. Look at them now. What are you talking about? There are so many different excuses upon excuses.
I don't want to come in here. No more excuses. No, it's not an excuse though. So I'm like transition period. I don't want to come in here now. I don't want to come in here. Oh my god!
This transition thing.
Dami, to be fair, it was dark outside. Okay.
Oh, now we're fam. Don't follow the comments about man's tie and. I'm not trying to get no hate or nothing. Here's the thing. Firstly, I don't support Chelsea, so a draw to me. Listen to me, Chelsea fans that aren't. I support Man City. You man think I don't support Chelsea, bro? So a draw to me is great. What I'm saying though is you were coming up against the Aston Villa team that are in form.
I don't give a shit.
We can't have a conversation. You man,
my guy, they're in cool. They may be in form. I don't care. Okay. We need to win this game. It is at home. We need to bounce back after losing to Arsenal. This is a team that need to finish in the top 4 at the bare minimum, okay? They should be beating Aston Villa if they're serious about life. I'm sorry. If they're not serious, then cool, keep it moving. But we've gone from now a team that's not beating the top 6 to now a team that, we can't beat Aston Villa now. Maybe Wolves are in a better form. Or maybe Arsenal need to win a game as well. When are we going to win then?
Let me just make sure if I'm bugging. I'm pretty sure Aston Villa are in the top 6.
Well, they are now, thanks to us. They're definitely ahead of us by quite some way, and I think they've still got a game in hand.
Game in hand that can make them second. So, if anything, I'm not saying they're going to...
Okay, but the league is trash. They're not actually part of the top 6, are they? They're not a top 6 club.
But they're top 6 right now.
Right now they are. But there's a lot of people in the top 6
so let's not do the whole thing. Where they should be. Where are they? They're a top 6 team right now.
Where are Chelsea right now? Is that what we are right now? Well, yeah, it is, isn't it? But that doesn't mean that's where my expectations is. So just because, we are what 10th? I don't know where the hell we are. Damn,
you're 6th right now.
We're not 6th, are we? Surely
you are, but everyone like the teams below you all have games in hand.
Okay, so basically we're not 6th. It's a false position. Just because we're 6th.
No. Hold the energy, because a couple months ago when we did a video and you put it up. You were first for like 4 hours, and then Tottenham were playing later.
What I'm saying,
you counted that as first.
Listen, we're 6th, but we're going to drop. That is what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a false position. We're going to drop. Okay. When there's no time for hype now, let's be deadly serious. So yeah, we're first. I'm gonna hype it. Cool. Title the video. We're first. Cool. We're not. We're going to drop from 6th. So just because we're 6th and below doesn't mean my expectations are going to be 6th and below. My expectations is to be performing like a top 4 team, and a top 4 team beats Aston Villa at home. Don't cut. That is it. Like there's nothing. There's no skating around that. There's no extra points that you need to make. Let's just keep it plain and simple because it's a short stream. A top 4 team that has aspirations of finishing the Champions League this season beats Aston Villa at home. Done. That's the end of that.
Yes.
That's the end of that conversation.
Form matters though.
It doesn't matter. No, it's not. Listen. I'm actually done. I'm done. Listen, this conversation about form matters. I don't give a damn, because at the end of the day, this Chelsea team should not be here. We were creating more chances last season. We were playing better last season. We were doing so much more with so much less. And now we've improved, and you're telling me that everything is... What blood clot form? Keep quiet with that and leave me alone. I am...
My brother.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. A lot of people...
Some of the people in the comments think you're actually doing this on purpose, Sash, to be patronizing. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Potentially that might be the case, because there's no way in hell you're telling me if Man City drops points home to Aston Villa, you're talking the same grease. There's no way.
We have dropped points this season to lesser teams. We've lost to lesser teams this season.
That doesn't mean my expectations are not going to drop. I don't give a shit what's going on, bro. I don't care if a cow runs onto the pitch. I'm not changing my level of expectation. I don't care, bro. My expectation is from the moment your expectations start dropping through the floor. By the way, this is a team that I said we need to finish top 3 and win a cup. I'm now bringing that down to top 4. From the moment I start dropping my expectations below that, I'm becoming an Arsenal fan.
So my question is to you before:
European League football's fine.
Chelsea, right? Imagine Chelsea are a 7, yeah, and you're trying to date a 9, bro. My question to you is: do you think your expectations were way too high to begin with?
Aston Villa 9. We loaned one of our players to Aston Villa. That was our headspace.
And look at him; he's had a great season.
We loaned Ross Barkley to Aston Villa. We loaned our 4th choice, 8 position midfielder to Aston Villa to help them out. And now,
I don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, if he was at the club right now, he would be in contention to be playing.
Of course. Let me get through the super chats because there's a lot of them. Rodri says, give him till May. If he doesn't make top 4, then he needs to leave. No excuses. I completely agree with you, bro. Like, literally, that is the situation at the matter. If he doesn't make top 4, he's got to go. I'm sorry. Can't lie. The only real positive was Mason Mount. I don't know about that.
Mason Mount. This man is running Mason into the ground. And let me say this again. Matisse, you said this love in your tweet. And I like the way you worded it. If we don't make top 4 this season, I don't give a damn who you are. That is a sackable offense. You should be sacked.
Yeah, just like the super chat said. That's what the super chat said.
It's a sackable offense because this is rubbish. Honest to God, everybody was gassing up their mentality. You and I especially. Remember when we're tweeting about Werner's mentality. Where's his mentality now? When we're tweeting about everybody.
Really good opportunity when he came on. Everybody wanted to see him, by the way, as lone centre forward when he comes down the middle. I'm not gonna lie, probably should have just kept Giroud on because he scored a goal already. You know, if you're gonna keep crossing and we need to get a winner, Giroud was looking more likely to score. So we may have pleased FT for bringing Timo Werner on and playing him down the middle. Are you happy now? Because we didn't win the game.
Can we drop a positive though? How good was Hudson-Odoi today?
Ooh, Callum. Okay, now I can smile. Callum Hudson-Odoi. If you don't play your next game, Lampard, I'm coming for you.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what
if you don't play the next game, I'm coming for him because Callum came on today. I had some people giving all sorts of man, I really don't know what more to say. But Callum today was perfect. You know, I'm coming from. He was so involved, making things happen, looking like he had a point to prove, wanting to get stuff done, crossing in the ball, putting in excellent bosses left, right, and center. Fam is mad. Callum is something else. And if you don't think so, you can take a seat. You can sit down.
His dribbling skill and distribution as well was actually very nice today. I felt that he was looking for Giroud a lot in that first half.
Yeah, he was. No, he was good. And that doesn't surprise me because, like I said, I feel like he should have been starting. From the moment that he was back fully fit, I felt like he should have been starting over Timo Werner for quite some time. And the only reason why he wasn't was, again, forcing Timo Werner at left wing, trying to continue to try and push this narrative that we need to get the best out of this guy right now. He's potentially got a long Chelsea career ahead of him. Bench him and bring it. We can go back to this situation later, but right now we need points and Hudson-Odoi on merit.
Okay, so my question is, I got two points as a non-Chelsea person. How did you lot like this front three setup today?
I was happy with the front three. It's probably the only part that I was completely happy with because the rest of the team I wasn't really looking at with many good thoughts, to be honest. I think the front three looked great in terms of the starting 11, but then the rest of the team I didn't really like it. Midfield, I thought I was surprised Gilmore didn't get the opportunity. I was surprised Kai didn't start. He's been benched for the last 3 games. If you're talking about a team that has played literally 48 hours ago, it's surprising not to see Kai in there and to see Kante and Mount. The defense, I don't like half of the defense. Just as bored. It almost
felt like Lampard was like, you know what? This game, I'm not too sure. We'll just put Rudiger and Christensen so they can get cancelled by the whole of FT. I don't know what else to say because when you start that, it don't make sense.
He had to rotate, isn't it?
He had to rotate.
Hours ago,
he's
not playing Tomori, so he's not playing Tomori. He's throwing Tomori out. Tomori's confidence is people asking for Tomori to come back now. I guarantee you, if Tomori plays, he's going to drop an absolute stinker. Brother's confidence is down here because he hasn't touched squads. He hasn't even touched like.
We're not. Game.
Is he even fully fit? Like, is he even match fit now? Like, he's been out of the team that long. Is he even match fit? This is a player that's now not even. Most of the time, he's fifth choice centre back. He couldn't even start against Krasnodar. I don't even want to see him because if you play Tomori and he drops a stinker, half the fan base is going to be onto him. He just needs to leave. He needs
from what I saw from him last season, he was playing well in the games.
The report from the Athletic was that Tomori was not training well enough and there was an attitude problem.
He should have gone to West Ham.
I don't see him on a day-to-day basis, but all I'm saying is that brother should have left on loan to West Ham and cleaned up from that moment.
Big facts.
Let me read some more super chats real quick to go through them because I don't want to miss any. Harry, give Frank 3 years like Ollie building process. I don't know if I even want to read the rest of it, but I kind of have to. Building process, we can see results and we've got new players. When now they are not going to gel straight away. Interesting. Nobody deserves 3 years. Off the bat with no like. For me, a project is when you let's again put this to work. If you're assigned a project and you report back to your manager Roman every few weeks to check up on how the project is going. If the project is going shit and you're not doing well, then at some point a decision will be made before you get to the end of that project, or they're just setting you up to fail. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So for me, no one deserves like off rip just 3 years to do whatever the hell they want. And if they run the club into the ground, then whatever. From a football standpoint, obviously from a playing squad standpoint, we've improved. So for me, at the end of this season, if we don't meet the bare minimum for the project, which is for me, the bare minimum for the project is top 4. If you don't meet that, then the project must continue with someone else. The project is not Frank Lampard. The project is Chelsea Football Club. Yeah. So the players that have been brought in are for Chelsea. The project is to get Chelsea back on top. If it's not going in that direction, then you have to make a change. That doesn't mean the project ends.
I'm not saying I agree with you, but my question is: say the project is top 4 and you're in contention for 5th. Is that a project failed or is that in contention? But
what do you mean?
Situations are like, say you get 5th this season.
Yeah.
Is that project failed or is that okay?
Is he failed? Is he failed? He deserves to be beaten. Honestly, he deserves to be beaten. Honest to God. I mean, I'm happy we can smile and laugh right now because I'm actually fuming. Honest to God, like I said, if you might get the chance to see my video later on, just you see what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, 5th position. That is. Wallahi, that's a false image. Honestly, I can't take that. Do you get where I'm coming from? I literally can't take that. 5th position, I will never in my life, I will never settle for that. Because like I said, you don't spend that much money, get that much backing, because he has everything he wants. He has everything he wants.
Do you think the money has messed up Lampard's, the money is, like, now people aren't willing to, like, the free season that he had, like, the free hit where he got 4th, but he really wasn't meant to. Do you think the accumulation of money now has set the standard that if you don't hit this, you're done?
Bro, you don't get worse than last season. I keep using this reference on every stream I go on.
This is Chelsea Football Club.
That's what I keep saying, Matisse. I went on
doing this Arsenal thing. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not stooping down to them levels. The bare minimum, wherever the hell we are, is top 4. That is Champions League football. That is how you attract the best players. After that, you start slowly declining into Europa League club, and then you end up where Arsenal are, who just beat us. I'm not playing these games. I'm not. If he doesn't finish 4th, it's a wrap. I don't care how much love and affinity I've got to the man, favourite player of all time. I don't care. There's no excuses. Because if it was someone else who didn't speak English, who was from Italy, they wouldn't get the same allowances. So top 4, and that's it. If you don't get that, that's a problem. That is 100% a problem. There's no other way of beating around the bush.
Chat merchant in the chat said Chelsea did scrape 4th last year.
Yeah, they did scrape it. Yeah, they did.
Don't matter. But my thing is, once you set boundary, listen. If Chelsea's requirements last season were to finish sixth, get into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, and that's fine. That's all good. If you surpass a boundary, you have set a new minimum threshold. Okay, and if the squad wasn't improved, you're still expected to improve on what you did the season before. This squad has had the best injection I have seen in this Chelsea team in the last decade. Nobody has gotten that good of an injection in this sort of period. So when you get that sort of thing, not only are you supposed to dust what you had the season before, what are you supposed to dust what you had? And someone said no preseason, it's not easy. Nobody had the preseason. Everybody's messing about.
Everyone's on the same way. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's on the same thing. Same thing with Aston Villa. People are telling me that Chelsea didn't have chance to rest. Aston Villa didn't rest, and they have the worst squad, and they still came and turned up against us in our own house. No, stop it.
You know, I feel really bad for the
At
people.
the end of the day, like I keep on saying, listen, hold on. But like I keep on saying, we got to make sure we improve and dust what we did before. So this season, even Matisse bringing your standards down to fourth, that's embarrassing. Exactly. You get where I'm coming from? Exactly. That's embarrassing. That is really embarrassing. That's not what we should be doing. But we're doing it because it's Frank Lampard. Imagine if it was a Marlboro munching, pasta loving. I don't even know, fam. Pasta.
The Italians like this, bro.
Because that's what the Chelsea fans are saying, fam. I don't have any. Like I said, I just can't. I see a lot of Lampard out in the thing, but I'm not trying to get on that wave because of how much I love the player, and that's why I keep saying I'm in emotional bondage.
That in itself, you've already admitted that you're mad biased.
Exactly.
You've already admitted you're mad biased. And by the way, for me, yeah, I'm trying to take this literally game by game. That's where I'm at right now. I'm game by game, week by week, and I could like I said, if I don't see improvements quickly, yeah, and we get cut adrift, I'm going to have to like make a decision in my head what I'm doing, because I can't just see us we can't just drift away from the top four. That is not acceptable. Do you know what I mean? I don't care what type of season it is. You can't drift away from the top four. You cannot do it.
All right, can I drop some more questions just as a neutral? How realistic was top four for Lampard in his second season at Chelsea? Honestly.
All right, you're just asking dumb questions.
Honestly.
I have to move on. I have to move on to.
Sorry. No.
I have to prioritize some of the chat. I have to, because that question in itself.
Sorry.
You should be able to keep it. No.
No, wrong question. My question was meant to
answer. What do you mean, how realistic? Are we talking? Is a 5-year-old in charge? What's going on? What do you mean, how realistic? Wait, he made top four last season.
Sorry. My question, I said the wrong question. Sorry, apologies. My question was sorry, I said the wrong question. Sorry. My question was meant to be, sorry. My question was meant to be, how realistic would it have been for Lampard to win the league in his second season?
We're not talking about winning the league, though. We're not talking about that. Like, no one's saying that he has to win the league. We're talking about you have to make top four. That's what we're talking about. So if winning the league is not part of this, we're not winning the league. That's not part of the discussion. It's great banks a couple months ago when we was top of the table. Yeah, cool. But that's not even what Chelsea fans are asking for. Chelsea fans are asking for improvements. Chelsea fans that want him out in this chat are asking for improvements. They're asking for a team that shows progression in the way they play, and they're asking for a team that closes the gap and wins a cup. That's what they're asking for. That's it. Man City is a must-win game. Do you know what? Yeah,
I don't even know if that game's gonna happen, man.
First of all, Amid, thank you for the chat. I don't know if that game's even happening, and even if it is, I think the disease getting in the way at the training ground may have actually done us a favor. I'm not gonna lie. I really do.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Do. We need a break. Like, we actually need that game to be cancelled, and this team needs to go to the training ground and don't come back out again for a good couple weeks. Frank, most under-equipped manager tactically for a year like 2020. He will have to do what he's never done before as a young manager. This is just part of the question. It's May. Is the deadline or not? Yeah, May, I can't say that May's the deadline for me, because even if we get to March and we're like 15 points off top four, then that's the deadline. That's when he's got to go. Like, I'm not gonna just sit here and just watch us fall into the epitome of death.
So you're not doing that?
I can't. No. I'm not doing that. I can't do that. So May you have to be in top four. But if in March you're not anywhere near it, and it's clear we're not going to make it unless we do something. If we just lose every single game up until then of course he has to go in March.
Okay. Question: Say you crash out to Atletico, but you get top fours. Would that be considered a good season? And you ever run?
No. Is that what you want to hear? No. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Literally.
I feel like
you're on a triggering thing. Let me not.
No. I feel like it is, yeah. Right.
No. Listen. It's not.
I've got to get more super chats, and they're actually asking legitimate questions. You are taking the piss.
I'm trying to negotiate with you. I'm trying to find the middle ground.
We don't negotiate. Chelsea fans don't negotiate with their standards. That's the one thing we don't do. The standards are here, and occasionally we'll drop them to here if we see something that we could. If we'll take 1 step backwards to go 2 steps forwards. I'm not taking 9 steps backwards. Nah.
When is it going to end, Robbie?
Nah. Lampard's going to use the same formation and tactics for next game because we only have 1 day to train. RIP. Well, we have loads of days to train because if Man City game doesn't go ahead, then we have absolutely so much time to work on so many things. So there's not really any excuse for that now. We're not playing twice a week this week. I think we've obviously got the game Monday, then the weekend game. I actually expect the Man City game to get called off because you can't clear a whole training ground and then do you know what I mean? You can't. There's not a turnover that quickly when it comes to the disease. So when it comes to players could be infected as well. So it would actually be a help.
Two are right now. I know Kyle Walker and Gabriel Jesus have corona.
Yeah, so that's already a health risk. You can't just risk now Chelsea's whole squad and Man City.
It depends because I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, when we came back after the first COVID break, their testing is quite rigorous. It's actually quite quick. So
yeah.
The positive is if we do play that game against City, you will not be playing a City at even full strength. We will have players out. So if anything, it'll be good for you.
I test merchant says so. If we're 10 points off in January, it's sticky. For me, a lot of people right now seem to be probably because they're on Twitter a lot, and I've noticed this. If you're on Twitter, you feel like you're under pressure to make a decision now. You're under pressure to make a decision right now in this moment. And let me tell you, Roman Abramovich is probably sitting in his office. He's not on Twitter saying, I need to make a decision now. He's thinking. He's not making the decision now. He's watching to see what unfolds. And that is what I'm doing. Right now, I said, obviously, I'm still in because I'm not saying he should be sacked right now. But depending on which way we go is depending on how my decision's going to be. So if we win our next 10 games and we get back into the top 4, then I'm going to be calm and I'm going to be a little bit less aggy. But if we're in 10 points off in January, at late January, then my opinion is going to change. So I feel like people on Twitter in specific are so gung-ho about this Lampard in hashtag and Lampard out hashtag and this need for tribalism and group chats and we need to make decisions right now because if we don't, then all hell is going to blaze over us. No, just chill. And if you don't have a decision made or you're just going to wait out for a couple more weeks, that's fine. Nobody's going to kill you, bro. You don't have to make that decision right now. I'm not going to be forced into making a decision because I understand that I have a platform. And if I make a decision, I can't go back on it. A lot of you people that are smaller accounts, you know, they're trying to force me into making a decision because let's be real, you can make a new account. Do you know what I mean? You can make a new YouTube channel here. You can look. How is that possible? Surely that's not true. Surely that's
I'll troll it.
It's not troops, exactly. Surely that's just a fake account. But a lot of people are trying to pressurize me or other people who have made really put their name out there to make a decision now.
Once you want to cancel me? You want to drag us? God forbid.
Once I make my decision, I'm not going back on it. I can't just keep going like this. You can make a new YouTube channel. If you're not making videos, you can make a new account. Lampard in, been there since day one, and no one will know your name. You can make a new Twitter account, Frank Lampard's Tricky Blues, and change it from whatever it was.
Okay, but
no one will know.
You can delete your tweets. You can delete your tweets.
Yeah,
you can switch up your Abby. My face, I'm not going to go and take Botox in it. I'm not going to change up my lips. I'm not going to change up my voice. I can't do that. You get where I'm coming from. So at the end of the day, you man can keep on telling us, oh, Lampard in, Lampard out. I'm not. That's why I keep saying I've already confessed to having bias towards this man and the bias is even. I'm never going to sit here and say it's valid because I know it's 100% biased. But you might need to understand, you're not going to force any of us to be like Lampard in, Lampard out right now. Because at the end of the day, we can watch this Chelsea team could go on and win their next 6 games, and the entire narrative will change. Matisse, you know what I'm talking about. You're not going to see some certain accounts come up and be like, oh, where were the haters now? XYZ. But us, if I tweet something now, before I tweet, 95% of the time before I tweet, I delete my tweet because I'm not trying to catch a case. Do you get where I'm coming from?
It's not even about not trying to catch a case. I'm trying to process what the hell is going on, and I want to make an informed, calm, rational decision. Not a decision based on emotion, not a decision based on being pissed off. I'm trying to be as patient as possible and let this run its course for as long as possible until I get to my breaking point. Because I don't want people to not take me seriously when I say that, okay, my mind has been made up. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people will just
2 things that I
move
want
with the wind. I'm not interested in that nonsense.
Can we move away from that? 2 things. One, and it's to do with the actual game. Did Lampard do anything today tactically that you were more impressed with than the previous game?
We just
We
played
don't change
better.
that. We just play with an. We literally played with the winger. Okay,
For once.
we played with the winger. Okay, we played with the winger, and that was it. I still saw Cross and Inshallah. That was it. Literally, that was it.
True. We played with a winger. We played with a winger, and that in turn made our attack better than it was last game. Last game was horrendous, so there's not really much further to fall from that. Do you know what I mean? I know you said, "Oh, we could have came back," but for the first 16 minutes or whatever it was tragic. So we couldn't really get any worse. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm waiting to see how this pans out, and I want to see if it's going to get worse or if there's going to be progression or what's going to happen. Because, like I said, Lampard is an intelligent guy from what I remember. Do you know what I mean? So I'm expecting his brain to get him out of this mess. So it's not just because we're going through a terrible spell that I'm going to react in a way where he 100% needs to go. Do you know what I mean? Because if you haven't followed me for quite some time, I have never said any manager out because I haven't been on social media long enough to say it. I have only been here from Sarri and now Lampard, and I haven't said out either time because I liked what Sarri was trying to do. Yeah, there were issues, but I was thinking of in-house solutions before I was thinking of outside solutions, and the same applies to Lampard. So until I get to my breaking point, and everybody has different breaking points, I'm not going to be forced into saying anything. Like I said, I'm waiting to see what the hell goes on because I've been with this fan base for 18 months on social media now, and I've seen them go like this. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to critique right now because right now is abysmal. I'll praise when we're doing well, and I'll make my decision when I need to make my decision.
Okay. Let me just ask one more question. Actually, no, do the super chats and then ask the question.
Yeah, we have to go probably 6 more minutes because I do have to go on to another show afterwards. There's a lot of super chats. Thank you so much, guys. Lampard in, half these man on Twitter flip-flop between in and out. When no one holds them accountable, it's good to be patient and look at.
What?
He's gone. Yo, you gone silent, bro.
You're silent, fam.
You're going silent.
Yeah, now we're back.
It's because Alex is ringing me.
Okay.
I'm not trying to make mad rash decisions, so I do want to make sure that I 100% actually be rational with what I'm saying. 1 second, let me just quickly message him. You guys continue with the chat. Just 1 second.
Okay, so my question. Okay, we'll run through the super chats real quick and then we'll continue. Tony T-Boy Online said we only lost the game due to missed chances. I agree. I think you lot had tons and tons of great opportunities in the first half. You just didn't do anything with them. Am I wrong,
bro? These excuses. Listen, T-Boy Online, big up for the nation, and I hear what you're saying, but it doesn't. We should stop all these ifs and maybes and we had a ton of chances. We're not creating as many chances as we were last season, were we? Is that improvement? The definition of improvement in the English dictionary is when you are progressing and elevating yourself from a previous level. Now, I'm not trying to
actually Google that, innit?
I didn't Google that. That came off the top of my head. My screens are clearing it. But my point is that's the definition of improvement. I'm not seeing improvement. And when you face Arsenal Football Club, you lose. Your next game should be a win. Lampard would not lose to Arsenal and then lose the next and draw or lose the next game. This was mad. Do you get where I'm coming from? Literally was mad. So I don't understand why a lot of people are saying we created so many chances against Aston Villa that we should be piping. We did not win. It was still a draw. And my point is, against a game like that, we should be progressing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Lord, this guy's making sense. Pulisic should have scored, man. Relax. What the fuck? But did he score? He didn't score, innit? Do you get my point? He didn't score and we didn't win. We should be winning. We should be creating more than that.
Felix said, why Jorginho, not Gilmore, why Mount, not Havertz?
Personally, again, when I addressed the starting 11 at the start of the stream, those were the two things that were standing out to me because, again, I feel like Gilmore just suits I feel like if you play Gilmore, then you don't have to play Kante. And again, Kante, I was worried about starting because he's had injuries in the past and we're playing him now 48 hours with no real recovery. So I was worried about that. But again, Havertz, I would have played because, again, he's been benched 3 games in a row and we didn't play him. But again, this is not really for me about personnel too much. That's not a glaring mistake. It's not what I wanted, but it's not something that I'm going to blow out of proportion. I think playing Werner at left wing over Hudson-Odoi was a glaring mistake. And I think we've seen that when we've seen the wingers playing today. I don't think those little minute changes in midfield would have made a massive difference. I think they would have made a bit of a difference, but it's not something where that's the main talking point for me. The main talking point is the fact that, once again, we're still really not playing with any creativity for quite a lot of the game, and we are relying a lot on individual brilliance. If you look at Aston Villa, the way they play when they go forward, the way that Grealish influences that attack and the way that they actually set up chances with a team and actually pass to one another, you don't see that with Chelsea. The only time you really saw that was a few instances where Hudson-Odoi switched play. And also, Hudson-Odoi, again, individual, but Aston Villa looked more like a team. That's my thing. And also then really when we scored the goal, which was a nice passage of play, and then Chilwell gets the cross in for Giroud. Apart from that, we don't really seem to have a plan going forward. And I think that's where a lot of the frustration comes from with the fan bases. At least previously, you could see a plan. Whether you might not like the plan from previous managers, whether that be Conte, Sarri, again, we've come from very systematic managers. You can't see a clear identity when we're attacking in this team. The defense has been fixed. Again, Mendy's been quite poor now for a couple of games, but we only conceded 1 goal today. Do you know what I mean?
I wanted to talk about that, but quickly, let me just shoot Aaron Smith. Would you like to know who I think we should be? Sorry, I would like to know who I think we should be starting for the next game based on the game against Arsenal and Aston Villa. Based on your game against Arsenal and Aston Villa.
Who do I think should be starting? What lineup?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, do you know what? If I'm being completely honest, it doesn't change from too much of what I've been saying already. For me, I don't change the back 5. I'm not bringing in a new goalkeeper. I'm not bringing in any new defenders into that usual back 4 that I always go with which is James, Chilwell, Zuma, and Silva, and James. I don't change that. And then Kante goes back to his normal position. And then you've got Mount, Havertz, Kova, the same 3 that you always pick from. I don't care which ones you pick, to be honest. And then you've got wingers. You've got 2 wingers that are available right now because Ziyech isn't fit. Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic don't move. And Giroud and Tammy, they're both scoring, so you pick either one. For me right now, it's not complicated which team to pick. That's the least of our problems. It's not like that is not that's not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is what are we actually doing with whoever the hell we send out? What is the plan? And how are we going to break open teams? That is what I'm thinking about. I don't really care which players you pick at this point because it's not making any difference too drastically. Do you know what I mean? There needs to be a cohesive plan when we go onto the pitch. And all I'm seeing, like Dami keeps saying, is crossing. And like I said, at least now you crossed with Giroud in the box. By the way, no other striker scores that goal. No other striker scores that goal today. They don't. They're like that. That's the difference with if you're gonna cross, you go with the guy in the box that really is probably the best header of the ball. He's also better from tight angles in terms of steering the ball at near post with the outside of his left foot, or just taking shots on from the volley. He's a little bit more well-rounded with his technique when it comes to instinctive finishing. But my God, man, there's so many problems. People have been saying that Timo Werner going lone striker was going to solve all of our issues. Well, my God, that is definitely not.
I got 2 more quick questions. Yeah, what's going on with Mendy, man? Why does he look so mistake prone in the last few games? Dan?
I don't know what to tell you because
Oreos,
what do you want me to tell you? We've got one goalkeeper who's looked like being a top goalkeeper in the Premier League. He's got clean sheets under his name. He's made massive saves, and there's no issues, right? Now he's going through a rough patch of form. He ain't the only one. The whole team is going through a rough patch of form. So what's the point of me singling out Mendy or saying, let's start Kepa or let's do this, let's do that, when the whole team is not playing well? It has to start from the top. What more? I can't keep doing this where I keep blaming players for this, that, they bought this goalkeeper. So what you're not going to see me do is you're not going to see me prioritize criticizing one of the new signings over the manager now. That's not something that we can do.
Okay.
Yep.
This was part 2 of my questioning, because we never got to speak about it on the last conversation. What did you think of Lampard's post-match comment?
You seem to be doing a little Q&A with us. I want to make sure I reply to some of the questions in the chat as well.
Okay.
But I have to also say, is that Frank Lampard came out afterwards. I think Conte.
Arsenal game.
No, forget the Arsenal. We already spoke about that, and I was pissed with it. But today's game, he came out and said that he wanted more fight from the team. And again, I addressed this before you guys got on. He said that he wanted more fight from the team, and he got it. So there you go.
He got more fight from the team.
There you go.
Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Our standards are all on the floor. Let me just tell you that right now. Our standards are very much on the floor. A lot of rival fans can tell me otherwise, but our standards are on the floor. Like I keep saying, improvements. Metrics-wise, no. Table-wise, no. Footballing-wise, no. Passion, we signed some players based on passion and desire. And we're not seeing it on the pitch. Are you kidding? We want to sign Declan Rice because of passion and desire. We signed Ben Chilwell because of passion and desire, and we're not seeing it on the pitch. Are you kidding me? We signed Werner and Havertz because not only were they good players, but they were passionate and desire.
Yeah, coming back to it, bro.
What are you saying? What are you telling me? So when you're telling me that's what the whole team is being done and everybody's getting all gassed and excited and then things go to shit, you're not telling me the players are lacking stuff. Shouldn't Lampard be held accountable to be able to inspire these men to get some sort of thing going? Yeah, where is the inspiration?
Because in the Arsenal game, it kind of seemed like he dragged the players instead of saying, "Hey, I didn't really give them much to work with." It was more of, "Why didn't you play well?"
That's what I'm talking about, and that's something I can't legislate for, and I can't have it. Do you know what I mean? And I think what I've tweeted earlier is that Roman Abramovich is not going to favor him over his new signings, because when you make new signings, it's now down to you to get the best out of them. And if you can't get the best out of them, he's not going to sell them. He's going to get a new manager who can get the best out of them, because it's easier to get rid of one than 10. Okay, and he's nearly overhauled the whole squad. So when we're talking about we need this, we need that, we need deep line playmaker who can make passes like Cesc Fabregas. We need Declan Rice for passion and screaming and long-term and long vision passing, and he can play 2 positions, even though Ampadu can do that as well. But we just don't want to develop him at the club. We so many things that we need signings. Other clubs are looking at us like, are you stupid? It's the same way I was looking at Man City when they signed defender after defender after defender. Are you? How much more do you want? Do you know what I mean? Like I said, you've nearly overhauled the whole squad. So I don't want to hear mentality and all this shit, because you signed this mentality. You signed these characters. So they're down. Now your responsibility to get the best out of them. And if they're...
Can I ask you a question? Matisse, can I ask you a question? And this is the question I've been asking a lot of people. And I'm going to have to do a whole tactical Catenaccio era style breakdown. Mediano era. You know those type of vibes where you come in with your tactics and conversation. Do you think the way we play brings the best out of the players we have?
At the moment, of course not. No, of course not. Of course not.
Sure.
I mean, how can it be when I've been watching Werner on the touchline trying to build up play and make passes and dribble for the last 7 weeks? How can it be? Of course not. But of course, as well, I'm aware that in their first season, they're not going to be at their pinnacle. I've seen it with Felix at Atletico Madrid. So I've got a balance of patience, because I know they're not going to be at their best, which means they need to be rotated out of the team more. Hence, Timo Werner should not be started all the time. But also, you need to do better with them, because they are top players. And at some point, youth development and player development is going to be very important for keeping your job. Because if you don't improve the players, then we've wasted money, and we'd rather get a new manager who actually improves these players than doesn't. Do you know what I mean?
Pull up that super chat from Lawrence Elliott, please. I beg.
I will do.
Okay, quickly. iChat said, is Lampard simply being carried by individuals like Ziyech?
He's not even allowing them to carry him, because he's putting them in all sorts of awkward positions and everything. Do you get where I'm coming from? That is my issue right now. Everybody, like I keep saying, I really don't want to be that guy. But Matisse, I said this to you in DMs. I think it was on WhatsApp or whatever. I don't know if I mentioned this to you, Sad. For example, our defense improving.
Yeah.
No dumb shit. We put Thiago Silva in the back line and we put Edu Mendy in goal. The defense was going to improve. Do you get where I'm coming from? We were conceding goals from donkey errors from Rudiger the donkey. Do you understand? From the Ebony Beckenbauer. That's what we were conceding goals to. The Danish ballerina. My guy's built like a Danish biscuit. Of course you're going to concede goals. Do you get where I'm coming from? So when you bring this up, so I'm just like, I'm struggling to understand where the issue lies right now. Because you get in world-class players, some things are automatically going to fix themselves. Now you've got in all this attacking talent, and you were creating more last season, and things are gone worse.
Yeah.
Too much? Is it too much for your own good? I don't know.
Harry Gillam said, keep Lampard, don't want too cool, arrogant.
Harry says, keep Lampard, don't sack him for Tuchel. Again, Tuchel, like I said, the reason why I'm not hopping on this hashtag is one, I don't do hashtags. So if I don't want him to stay at some point, I'm going to say he should part ways with the club because I'm just going to carry that level of respect for him. But also, I don't have a manager that I want because I haven't been thinking about this. This is only the last couple of weeks where this has really started to pick up momentum now. So it doesn't take a couple of weeks for me to think of a new manager that I want to lead our club. Do you know what I mean? So I need to not only judge what the hell's going on with us and continue to keep speaking about it, having these conversations, but also I don't have a manager in my head that I want because I'm not just going to start throwing out fancy names out of nowhere that I've not been watching. I haven't been watching PSG this season. So I'm not going to just start throwing out names of fancy managers from Germany and Italy and whatever, who, by the way, will have to come in and start again because this might not be the group of players they want. So let's in terms of bringing me names, there's no real point because I haven't been watching PSG every week. And that's really what, if I wanted someone, I have to start now watching their games to really now know if they're the guy that I want. I know he's got a great record in terms of winning trophies. He's won League R. He took PSG to a Champions League final, but there's more to it than that because I preferred, for me, if I'm picking a manager, okay, the only manager I would have been dead certain on would have been Pochettino. And he doesn't have the same accolades and trophies as Tuchel, but from what I saw, because I got to watch Southampton and Tottenham on a regular basis, he took 2 Premier League teams up levels, not one level,
multiple levels.
Okay, Pochettino took Southampton and Tottenham up levels on minimal budgets. Okay, development, youth development.
Tottenham, nothing.
Nothing. Okay, Levy was moving like this, stingy. Okay, he took players, individuals, Lallana's to your Ricky Lamberts to your bloody Van Dijks,
Wanyama's to the Mane's to the VVDs. Everyone forgets. Everyone doesn't really put respect on Pochettino's time at Southampton.
There's a reason why Liverpool. There's a reason why Liverpool ended up robbing Southampton. It's because of Pochettino's work. Harry Kane, where did he come from? So all of these, he's shown player development, he's shown youth development, and he's shown development for style of play and having a varied of tactics and formations as well, which he showed against Juventus when he switched up at half time. And he's shown that he can take teams up levels. That was the only manager that you could have named to me, and I could have said 100%. If you're getting him, then cool, do your thing. I haven't got any other name on that level because I haven't been watching anyone else micro focus like that where I can zone in and be like, 100% that's my guy. Pochettino was the only guy.
Quickly.
Sorry, quick one. Sorry. Mods, can you man sort out John Smith in chat? Because my guy, I don't know what's up with his testicles. Man is moving a bit mad. Do you understand? Can you man just sort him out? Just ban him. Do you get I'm coming from? John Smith, just ban him. My guy's got a J with his thing in it.
Just what is he doing? Just put him on timeout for now.
Yeah, time it up. Carry on.
Okay, PAVFC said, do you regret not signing Martinez?
No, again, we're not gonna just keep scapegoating individuals that we've just signed who looked good a month ago. We're not gonna do that because Mendy was good. So we need to figure out why he's not good right now, and we need to get him back to where he was. And like I said,
love this.
I'm not gonna do that. Martinez is a great goalkeeper, but we signed Mendy, and that's the end of the situation. We can't just keep transferring players in and out because are we gonna really seriously be that stupid and not address the main issue, which is the guy who is above them managing this group? I've seen people do more with less. Dami said it earlier. Okay, well, let's not pretend like as if we have some sort of poverty squad. We have a very good squad, whether it has Ziyech or not.
Top 5 to 7 in the world. That's one of the best ones in the world.
We're not a one-man show. Because Chelsea fans, we were very. and me included, we were very quick to say we have the best depth in the league or top 2. So now let's not start complaining about players now, because apparently we got the best depth. So let's hold the energy. Lawrence says, I saw the reaction, standards in hell. 100%. And I think
super chat. Short and
I think as well, when people are saying to me that Lampard, if he finishes outside the top 4, what do we do with him? Lampard himself has higher standards than you have of him.
Yeah.
Deep what I said. Deep it. What I said, and think about it, and then think about it again. Lampard himself, when he got to the club, has higher standards than you have of him. If you think that when he finishes outside the top 4, it's not a sackable thing. It is. It is a sackable thing. Do you know what I mean? You can't finish outside the top 4 when at the start of the season you said we have to have the mentality to challenge for the title. That is 2 extremes. You can't go from that to that. You can't do it. Let's not move the goalposts here. Okay. Like I said, top 4 is the bare minimum. As someone that is Lampard in, that still wants him to do well and still wants him to recover from this. But I am aware that after top 4, if you drop below that, you cannot drop below that. And Lampard has higher standards than some people have of him, because you're willing to cut him. I'm seeing people tweet, "Oh, if Chelsea get relegated with Lampard, I'll be fine." Do you think Lampard will be fine? Do you think Alan Shearer was fine when he was at Newcastle? These people have higher standards than you have. So you need to get on their level. You need to get on Lampard's level, because Lampard won't accept getting relegated or even finishing 10th. He won't accept finishing 10th for Chelsea and keeping his job. He will tell Roman that he should be leaving. Because if Lampard wants what's best for Chelsea, and why would Lampard want to?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you know why? Yeah, I used to believe that, and then I saw what Ollie was doing for a while over there at United, and I was like,
don't you dare put that.
Nah, bro. Like sometimes when you get the job, yeah.
I'm not talking.
You're on the wind up thing side.
No. What I'm saying is sometimes when ex-players get in positions of like being in charge, their ego of wanting to be the manager of their childhood club or best.
That's all nice. That's all nice, but there are still minimum expectations here. Okay, and like I said, Lampard sets himself high standards at Chelsea when he was a player. So Lampard has to set himself high standards at Chelsea.
It's not always the case, though.
And when he came in through the door in the first press conference, he said 2 things. Do not judge me as a player, judge me as a manager now, okay? I don't want to be associated with Lampard, the player. Something our fans need to remember when they're judging him, okay? That's the first thing. Second of all, he said, we have standards at Chelsea Football Club. As a player, I had standards. As a manager, I have standards, and I have standards of my team. So if there becomes a point where he gets below those standards, I expect him and for anyone, okay, to go from there. And we can't keep sacking managers. Again, I'm not gonna go on to this because I'm gonna wrap it up after an hour. But this is the same thing with, you can maybe associate with Morata. Or we're not gonna sell Morata because we're not gonna keep chopping and changing strikers, number 9s. I don't want to sack him. Okay, I am Lampard in, because I want him to recover from this with his intelligence and IQ and get past this, because it's a dip. And I want to see if the dip continues or if the dip is just a dip. Okay, I'm being patient. But if we have to sack him because it's better for Chelsea, because we're not making any progress, we have to do that. If it comes to that.
As much as it burned Real Madrid the first time round to get rid of Zidane because it wasn't working, they did it. And that's a club legend.
But what I think some people, when you leave that kind of comment, is you're not understanding is when you're saying don't sack someone, you're saying don't sack them because there's a reason why they shouldn't be sacked. If I go to a company at work and they've had a high turnover in staff, and I come in and I don't do my work, and I come up and I turn up late and I don't do my job, they're not going to say to me, well, we was going to fire you, but we've had a lot of turnover in staff recently and we don't want to keep sacking people, so we're going to let this shit carry on. That's not how it works in the real world. Relate this shit back to your job. Relate it back to the real world. And I swear to you, you won't be asking these type of questions. We have to have a bottom line standard. That's coming from someone who's in.
Can you see these comments? About Zidane? Brilliant. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Can you see what they're saying about Zidane?
There was a last super chat.
I should have left the Zizu thing alone, innit?
There was a last super chat, and I believe it was from Ollie, and it was saying Ollie never finished below 4th. That is true. That is very true. But again, I'm not here for this Ollie comparison because as far as I'm concerned, I'm tunnel vision and I'm trying to focus on on Lampard. Like I said,
Mutual.
a lot of times we do this Saka versus Hudson-Odoi versus Martinelli. I am not in the mood for these tribal. But I can do that on someone else's channel. I can do that on, because you might are going to see me on Rance's channel and Turkish channel later in the week. We can do that then. Here, I am so focused and zoomed into our problems. Fix our problems. I'm not interested in Oli and Arteta. I don't care. We got serious issues that we need to fix. That's what we need to do. We need to think about that. That's my main concern right now.
Do you want to do one last super chat then?
Lampard should only get sacked if we consistently drop. That's fair enough. That's more logical, because at least then you're saying that you're not going to just allow us to drop to League 2 because we don't want to sack a manager. All right. I know, and listen, I know you guys love him. I love him too. This is not easy for anyone. Nobody wants to see this. That's why I was so hesitant of him coming in the first place, because I didn't want to see this shit. I remember when we was getting linked, and you can check my tweets from way back when. And I'm actually going to advise you guys stop sending in super chats, which sounds backwards, but I am going to wrap up the show, so I don't want to miss your super chat, and I don't want to just take money from you guys when I won't be able to read them out, because we're going to wrap up in the next 5 minutes, and you guys have been so supportive of the super chats. Thank you so much. But we have to keep it real. My last point, okay, before I let the two guys give their last point, we cannot just continue to drop. Okay, we can't. It can't. That cannot be the way. Okay, there has to be a standard. And like I said, I know it's not easy. Like I said, if you go back and check my tweets, I didn't want Lampard when we were linked with him from Derby, because I said to myself, it's too early, and I don't know if the fan base is ready. I don't know if we're ready, and if it goes tits up and he doesn't win the Premier League, because that's what I want for Lampard and I want for Chelsea. I want him to win the Premier League. I didn't want Lampard as a transitional coach. I didn't want Lampard to come in and get us top 4 and then get sacked. I want Lampard to win shit. So if he's not ready and we're not ready, I didn't want him, okay? But then we get him and I back him and I do all propaganda and I'm sold. I want him. I believe in him and I go the full way, because that's what I do with anyone who joins the club until they prove me otherwise. But the sheer fact of the matter is that if he does not, he was perfect for last season, because last season there was no expectations and we had a ban and we was bringing in youth. Someone said it earlier. We are now in a position of unprecedented times where you've got fixture on fixture on fixture on fixture. Then slap on the fact that you spent money and done a squad overhaul. That's another situation he's never been involved in. This is why I was nervous, because you've now got someone in charge who is in the deep end, who is still learning as he goes along, added to the fan pressure, by the way, that honeymoon period that we speak about. Oh, it's never going to be toxic under Lampard and we're never going to have any struggles. Yeah, say that when we're winning. Now say that when we've got issues. And by the way, if you think it would be all rosy-dozy in the grounds just because, he's Lampard, by the way, if we start losing games and we're like 10th, anybody can get it. And I think Jose Mourinho proved that, okay? So it's all nice and say, it's vibes and atmosphere. We're out the honeymoon stage and it's real times. And that's when experience is involved, okay? And that's why I suggested on Twitter before, shout out Nini, he said no. Carefree Youth, he said no. I said maybe we need an experienced assistant manager, because we don't have anyone right now in the coaching staff who's experienced in dealing with this situation. Back-to-back fixtures with high marquee signings. This is unprecedented for these men. They don't want them. They're learning right now as I speak.
The kind of sad thing about the situation is it's not exactly going to just ease up. Exactly. It's going to be this way. It's going to be this way for the rest of the season. Like, games aren't going to just start happening once a week. And the maddest thing is we're getting a lot closer to Champions League season again. A lot closer.
Yeah, and when those fixtures come back in, then it's going to be even more hectic. So listen, guys.
Imagine you have Champions League, a deep cup run, and league games.
Yeah. Listen, let me just finish on this point, because we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to go and do the Byline recording, which you guys will probably know me from that as well. And then I'm going to go on Turkish's channel. Probably I'll be late. But people, whether you're in or out, okay? I don't judge either side. I think if you're out, you've definitely got your reasons for it. It's very clear at this point. And like I said, I want to have the debate with you and the discussion with you in the next couple of weeks. And I don't want to hear people saying that people that are out are reactionary, because if you're in, you should be able to make a strong enough case to make someone that's out turn back in. And I don't have a strong enough case to sway you, okay? Because I have good points. I have loads of reasons. Saj gave them last stream about, most of the top teams in Europe are actually playing quite poorly. If you look at all the top teams in Europe, they're all underperforming. If you look at, there's certain stats you could dig into that would say that would work in Lampard's favour. And that's why I'm not going all the way on the other side and just saying, get him out. But there are reasons also as to why this is worrying and that people will be worried and that might want him out. So in, out, shake it all about. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. Let's just continue to keep having the discussion. Thank you so much to the group, to the chat. You guys have been super active. You got and you know, I would want to make the stream longer, but after games, it's just there's just so much.
Quickly, Dami, any final thoughts, my brother?
Sorry,
Bro,
Dami, any final thoughts?
like I said, I don't want to be that guy, but like I said, I've done my waffling down on my channel, innit? You know what I'm saying? Because long as Batista has come on and he said, thing is, that's why I like coming on to the MAH channel. You understand? Because at the end of the day, we can see eye to eye, and at the end of the day, like one thing I love about chatting with Batista is we can understand the bias for Frank. Like we see both sides of the coin. You understand?
Yeah.
It's not just one. There's no one side. We can see both sides.
we're not gonna start calling them that don't agree with us idiots because they're out and start saying, "Oh, you're reactionary and you don't know what you're talking about." Everybody sees football differently. Everybody watched that game differently, and everybody has different tolerance levels. And that's why I'm able to see and piece together what everybody's thinking and bring it together in a discussion. Make sure you check out the link in the description. Dami, my guy here, has just started a new channel. That's going to be down there. Thank you again to the stream. You guys have been super active. This form's killing me, man. We need to win a game. In a bit, people, I will see you tomorrow. I've got a 6 stream lined up. It's going to be another debate about Lampard in versus Lampard out. We're going to have 2 people on the stream, one who is Lampard in and one who is out, both from Twitter. So it's going to be a proper debate. And again, join us tomorrow for that. I'll put up the stream earlier so you can see the time. See you in a bit, people. Thank you so much once again.
Jesus Christ.